Yes, sir. Yes, sir. It's your boy Mark here again, doing the NFL Week 2 recap. Last week, I started out Week 1 strong with a 12-4 record. This week, I came a little bit short of tying last week. I finished with an 11-5 record. So overall, I am at 23-9 for a 71% guess rate or prediction rate, if you will. I'm going to rattle off all the games that were played this particular week against all the opponents, what I chose, and give you my top two games that I particularly was very entertained with, and then I'm gonna give you one game that was an absolute stinker or disappointment in my eyes. All right, so start off in my 11 wins. I chose Packers. I chose the Ravens over the Browns. I chose Cowboys over the Giants. I chose Lions over the Bears, Patriots over the Dolphins, 49ers over the Saints, Cardinals over the Panthers, Colts over the Broncos, Eagles over the Chiefs, Bucks over the Texans, and of course, my Chargers over those Raiders. I mean, what was I going to do? You know what I mean? Chargers over the Raiders every time. Unfortunately, I did choose the Jaguars to beat the Bengals. I chose the Jets to beat the Bills at home. I chose Steelers to beat the Seahawks. Titans to beat who did the Titans play? Titans to be where are the Titans at? To beat the Rams. And then I chose the Vikings to beat the Atlanta Falcons. Out of those losses, uh, I'm very shocked with the Steelers loss. The Titans, whatever. Oh, and also was shocked with the Vikings loss because I thought they were gonna have a better showing than that. But it's how it goes sometimes. 11-5 still a strong record. That's still a playoff winning season. So I feel like I was only one off from my current season high. So I'm right around the area that I should be, apparently. Obviously, week 3 needs to be better. So my goal now is to get to 13-3, but we're gonna see how it goes. Here we go. We are at the segment where I give my two highlight games and my one big disappointment this weekend. I would have to start off with the Dallas Cowboys beating the Giants 40-37 in overtime. I think it was the most entertaining game all weekend. Dak Prescott showed out again. He went 38 for 52, two touchdowns and interception, throwing for 361 yards. Russell Wilson turned back the clock and threw for 450, going 30 for 41, three touchdowns, and that killer interception in overtime. Definitely have to shout out the Cowboys kicker Aubrey, making that 64-yarder as time expired in regulation, and then obviously the chip shot from 40 yards to win the game in overtime. Clearly, defense was optional this particular day. It was a shootout the entire day. They were hairs under 1,000 yards in total offense. Um, we definitely got to talk about that Giants tackle James Hudson and his four penalties. I've never seen two personal fouls from offensive linemen in the same drive, in addition to two false starts from the same lineman. He's not the reason why they lost, but he's definitely the reason why they did not score on that particular drive, and or why they didn't score a touchdown on that particular drive. So, in a 3-point game that went in overtime, I think that is a glaring spot. But also, the Giants should have won the game. When your quarterback leads you down to a touchdown, throws a 40-yard or 50-yard bomb to your star wide receiver to get you up by 3 with less than a minute left in the game, you should win that game. Both defenses couldn't stop each other or stop the opposing offense, and that's glaring because I had high regard for the Giants' defense, especially the defensive line. So I know this is definitely a backbreaking loss because it's in the division and it is a game that you should have won. I think the Giants will definitely bounce back. but I think this is kind of how their season's going to go. What else can I say about this game? I think that I'm glad Scatterable got his first touchdown as a NFL player, and I liked how both quarterbacks played. I think Dak was very consistent. I think George Pickens played a really sensational game to back up CeeDee Lamb's big day. I just think that it's very good to see both teams go back and forth, give an entertaining show in Jerry's world. And surprisingly, I was happy to see the Cowboys win. So that was a real bright spot for me. The second game that was a bright spot would have to be my Chargers dominating the Raiders. Not only did we dominate them from start to finish, but they didn't even score a touchdown. So the fact that we shut them out, as far as touchdowns go, that will most likely win you 90% of your football games. We had Geno Smith in a straight jacket all night. Even the first play of the game, where Deion Henley got an interception. Geno had 3 interceptions on the night. Genty was bottled up for the most part. He had 11 carries for 43 yards. We'll definitely take that. QJ looked like my boy could catch now. Met QJ actually, not this past summer, but the summer before. Real cool dude. And then I saw, side note, saw Keenan Allen at Raging Waters right before he signed with the Chargers. So to see him killing it again in the Charger blue, it warms my heart as a diehard Charger fan. Side note, I really hope that Khalil Mack's injury is going to keep him sidelined for a little to no time, but I will say it definitely did not look good watching it on TV. So hopefully he can bounce back pretty quickly. Hopefully it's nothing severe or season ending. So, prayers out to Khalil Mack. Justin Herbert did Herbert things. Threw for 242, 19 for 27, no interceptions, no turnovers, even though there was one pass that the Raiders defensive back or linebacker should have caught. But we'll take it. That's fine. He dropped it. Still no interceptions on the season. The defense is really what showed out. We definitely have to shout out Uncle Jefferson. He played really well on the back end today. He had an interception today. It was, let's see, it was Dayon that had an interception. He also had a sack. Um, we had Tony Jefferson with an interception. And then we had Dante Jackson with the tip interception from the outstanding coverage from Derwin James. So, like I said, the defense showed up, showed out. It was complete domination. Geno Smith didn't know what was happening to him. Even like I said with Genty, he had 43 yards on 11 carries, and it took all of him to break all those tackles just to get to the 43 yards. You know what I mean? So I think this is a great team effort, a great dominating performance from the defense. And hopefully this is something that they can build on to, go back to SoFi and beat Denver next week. The only down news that I can kind of recall from the offense is our rookie, Omari Hampton, fumbling. It could have really turned that sour towards the end of the game. But we just got to keep control of that ball. 8 for 24 yards today. I think this is more of a committee thing. Herbert went for 31. Najee had 28. Omarion had 24. So, we want to inflate those numbers a little bit, but I think, like I said, it was a real good team effort. Now, my biggest disappointment from week 2 has to be the showing that the Jets put on versus the Bills at home. I don't understand what happened between week 1 versus the Steelers and putting up so many points, and the offense was just clicking, and then Justin Fields going 3 for 11 for 27 yards. I do believe that he did get hurt, so prayers to him. but he played terrible all day. He played terrible. I mean, the offense played terrible. Josh Allen controlled the game. He didn't have a big statistical game, but they controlled the game for sure. James Cook went absolutely nuts. Carried the ball 21 times, 132 yards, two tutties. I mean, that's a sensational day. Whatever fantasy team he's on, I know they're ecstatic. But this is more so about the Jets. Their defense is usually their calling card. They stunk it up today, and then the offense was even worse than their defense. I'm actually surprised they even scored 10 points. Granted, that was with Tyrod Taylor towards the end in garbage time, but yeah, they were terrible. So the Bills did what they're supposed to do. But yeah, Jets, what y'all got going on? Y'all own to it at home. Y'all got to figure it out before this train really goes off the track. So now, onto the final segment. We got to make our picks for week 3. So let's see if I can get better than 11-5 and 12-4. So week 3, we got the Thursday night game on Amazon Prime. We got the Dolphins visiting the Bills. We're gonna make this very short and sweet. We have Bills money line. It's that simple. Bills are gonna win. I don't care what type of Miami team shows up to the Bills Stadium. They're gonna lose. It's that simple. For the betting folks out there, Buffalo currently is minus 12 and a half. I'll see how I feel on Thursday, but I think money line is probably going to get it done. Then we got my Chargers finally playing a real home game versus the Denver Broncos in our third of 3 back-to-back weeks playing division opponents. Hopefully we can finish it out 3-0. Yeah, the Broncos defense is nothing to sneeze at. Like, they are everything that they're expected to be. I think this game is just going to come down to quarterback play and which offensive line can protect their quarterback better. Obviously, I still have my Chargers to win over the Broncos, especially in our real home opener. So I'm going to go with my Chargers to go 3-0 to start the year. We have the Packers visiting the Browns. I told y'all last week that I'm gonna have the Packers. I'm on the Packers bandwagon, so that's where I'm going with it. I think their defensive line has improved tremendously, obviously with Micah Parsons, and I think that the Browns are just gonna do Browns things. However, I think it'll be close early, and then at some point, it's just gonna be an overwhelming wave of the Packers. I don't even see this being close towards the end of the game. I think the spread might cover at minus 7.5. So I'm gonna take Packers. We're gonna go. The next game is Colts at Titans. Currently, the spread is minus 3.5 for Indiana. I'm the same thing that we said with the Packers. I'm gonna stay on the Colts bandwagon, even though this game is in Tennessee. I think that the Tennessee D line is really, really good as well. But I think Daniel Jones is clicking on all cylinders right here with Shane Steichen as his offensive coordinator. And I'm just going to stick with Daniel Jones. We're going to go 3-0. I don't know about the spread, but if I'm a betting man, which I am, I would be interested in taking the plus 3.5, if not buying more points for the Titans at home. But currently, right now, I'm going to take the Colts to win. Bengals at Vikings. See, now I'm torn because the spread is the Vikings minus 2.5 at home, but there's no JJ McCarthy. So I believe Carson Wentz is going to be taking over the reins. We haven't seen Carson Wentz in God knows how long. And then I think this is going to be the battle of the backups because Joe Burrow is out for at least 3 months. So Jake Browning, who played very well against the Jaguars. I don't know how I'm gonna go with this, but I just know the Bengals are gonna pass the ball a lot, so they're gonna have a lot of chances to either stay ahead or come back. Um, Atlanta completely dismantled everything that they had going on. That them meaning the Vikings. So I think I might be interested in the Bengals plus 3.5, if not more. But gut check, uh, I don't know. I think I'm gonna take. I think I'm still gonna take the Vikings, even though I like the plus money spread for the Bengals. Next game is Steelers at Patriots. Currently, the Steelers are minus 1.5. Um, Even though they're on the road against the Patriots, both teams are 1-1. Um, really, it just comes down to preference. And even though Steelers lost last week, I don't know. I feel like I'm gonna take the Steelers again. I don't like this pick necessarily because Drake May has been playing pretty well. Um, if I do put this game on my ticket, I could definitely see myself jumping ship and going Patriots money line. But currently, as we stand right now, I'm gonna stick with Steelers money line. Then we have a big showdown. We got Rams going to Philly to play the Eagles. Eagles are currently minus 3.5. Both teams are undefeated. Um, I'm not too sure about this. Both offensive lines are pretty solid, but obviously the Eagles have one of the best, if not the best, offensive lines, and their offense hasn't even been cooking yet, and they still been winning. I'm very interested in taking the Rams plus 3.5 or Philly 3.5. But as far as winners, I'm gonna stick with the Eagles to go 3-0 on the season. Next game will be the Jets visiting the Bucks. Now here's my problem. Tyrod Taylor is probably going to be the quarterback this week. And although the Bucks find ways to figure it out, the Jets D line is still pretty good. But they are going to go on the road, and they have not played a road game yet. And then the Buccaneers are going to open up at home. Clearly, they're the favorite to win at minus 6.5. So I think I'm gonna just stay there. The Jets just do Jet things, and I'm just gonna stay home with the Bucks. They've shown me that they can win close games or come back and win close games. So I'm gonna stick with them. Baker Mayfield, I said that's my guy, and he's shown up and shown out. So I'm gonna go with the Buccaneers. We have Raiders visiting the Commanders. Currently, Jaden Daniels is questionable, I believe. They're still minus 3.5, so that kind of leads me to believe that they are going to, figure it out. Raiders just lost to my Chargers. Um, I'm interested in the plus 3.5 for the Raiders on the spread. As an overall winner, you know what? I think that I'm going to go. I want to say the Raiders. I think I'm going to choose the Raiders, and I don't even feel confident in that. On the road, they're 1-0 on the road, but they played New England, and New England isn't particularly good. This is tough. What you think I should do? Um, you know what? I said Raiders. I'm gonna just stick with Raiders. I don't love that pick either, but I'm gonna stick with the Raiders. Let's see. The next game is Falcons at Panthers. Panthers stink, and Atlanta shocked me. So I'm just gonna keep it real simple. I think the Panthers are gonna keep it close. They might even be in a one-score game, but I'm going to stick with the Falcons. I like Michael Penix. I see that they're utilizing my tight end out of Florida. What's my dog name? Hold on. What's my dog name? Kyle Pitts. are utilizing Kyle Pitts. I'm gonna stick with Atlanta. All right, then we got the Texans going to the Jaguars. Houston is -1.5. They're 0-2. You know what? I'm taking the Jags. I think Trevor Lawrence had an abysmal day, and they should have beat the Bengals. And I think they're gonna have a bounce back game at the crib. So I'm gonna go Jaguars. Saints at Seahawks. We're gonna keep it real simple. We got Seattle. Seahawks are -7.5. I don't know about that. I would take the Saints +7.5 in that situation, but I'm taking Seahawks money line. We got Cowboys visiting the Bears. Chicago currently is -1.5. So if that's the case and that stays true, I'm taking Cowboys money line. Got to take them on the plus money because I know they're going to keep it interesting. Be aware of the over in that game as well. Um, Cardinals visiting the 49ers. Currently, the 49ers are -1.5, but I don't give a damn. I'm going Cardinals money line. I think this is where the 49ers luck run out as far as a day, like as far as a complete game. It's going to be a sunny game in Santa Clara. So I'm gonna choose the Cardinals to win this game. And then last game here that I see on Sunday will be the Chiefs visiting the Giants. I think Chiefs finally bounce back, get their first win of the season. But I think the Giants are going to keep it fairly close. But Mahomes is going to do Mahomes things, and Chiefs are going to win. And then the last game, Monday night, Lions at Ravens. Currently, Baltimore at home is a favorite -5.5. So let's see. Let's see. The Lions did show out. I'm interested in the Lions +5.5 on the spread. Um, I just don't like their defense. It's really what it comes down to. So I'm gonna go Ravens money line against the Lions, even though I could see myself putting the Lions money line or Lions +5.5 on the spread. So just to recap everything, I'm definitely going Bills. I'm going Chargers, Packers. Wait, that's it right? Yeah. I'm going Bills, Chargers, Packers. Um, I'm gonna go Colts. Gonna go gonna go Vikings. I'm gonna go Steelers, Eagles, Bucks, Raiders, Falcons, Jaguars, Seahawks, Cowboys, Cardinals, Chiefs, Ravens. Let me know what you think, how you feel. Hopefully, I can get higher than 11-5 or 12-4 and keep going up the ladder. Uh, Please let me know if you're going to tell this ticket or not. Tell me if I'm tripping in the comments, DM me, whatever you need to do. But let's see how these results end up next week. Peace.